URI, upper respiratory infection. USG, ultrasonography. VDRL, venereal disease research laboratory. V/Q, ventilation perfusion. WNL, within normal limits. TIA, transient ischemic attack. TIBC, total iron binding capacity. TNM, tumor, nodes, metastasis. TPN, total parenteral nutrition. U/A, urinalysis. SL, sublingual. SOB, shortness of breath. STAT, immediately. SVT, supraventricular tachycardia. TANDA, tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. RSV, respiratory syncytial virus. RX, prescription. SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. SIAD, syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone. SIRS, systemic inflammatory response syndrome. PUD, peptic ulcer disease. RDS, respiratory distress syndrome. REM, rapid eye movement. RLE, right lower extremity. ROM, range of motion. PFT, pulmonary function test. PICC, peripherally inserted central catheter. PND, paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. PTCA, percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasty. PTT, partial thromboplastin time. NSR, normal sinus rhythm. NTG, nitroglycerin. ONP, ova and parasites. PAC, premature atrial contraction. PEARL, pupils equal, round, reactive to light. MSK, musculoskeletal. MVP, mitral valve prolapse. N/V, nausea/vomiting. NCS, nerve conduction study. NIDM, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. LVH, left ventricular hypertrophy. MCV, mean corpuscular volume. MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. MESI, mental status exam. IVP, intravenous pyelogram. LND, labor and delivery. LFTs, liver function tests. LOM, loss of motion. LPN, licensed practical nurse. HX, history. INO, intake and output. ICD, implantable cardioverter defibrillator. IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. IOP, intraocular pressure. HCT, hematocrit. HDL, high-density lipoprotein. HINT, head, eyes, ears, nose, throat. HPI, history of present illness. HSV, herpes simplex virus. GFR, glomerular filtration rate. GTT, glucose tolerance test. HNH, hemoglobin and hematocrit. HA, headache. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. EOMI, extraocular movements intact. ET, endotracheal. FOBT, fecal occult blood test. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. DRE, digital rectal exam. DVT, deep vein thrombosis. EBL, estimated blood loss. ECHO, echocardiogram. CRF, chronic renal failure. CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. CTD, connective tissue disease. CVD, cardiovascular disease. DC, discontinue. C. diff, Clostridium difficile. CI, cardiac index. CKD, chronic kidney disease. CMP, comprehensive metabolic panel. CPK, creatine phosphokinase. BKA, below knee amputation. BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. BT, bleeding time. CAB, coronary artery bypass graft. CAPD, continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis. AKI, acute kidney injury. ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. ALT, alanine aminotransferase. AST, aspartate aminotransferase. ARM, active range of motion. ANO, alert and oriented. AFib, atrial fibrillation. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. ADH, antidiuretic hormone. AFP, alpha-fetoprotein. QID, 4 times a day. QHS, every night at bedtime. QD, every day. STAT, immediately. DM, diabetes mellitus. ICU, intensive care unit. HTN, hypertension. DM, diabetes mellitus. RA, rheumatoid arthritis. O2, oxygen. S/P, a status post. F/U, follow-up. LOC, level of consciousness. NG, nasogastric. DVT, deep vein thrombosis. ENT, ear, nose, and throat. CNS, central nervous system. PNS, peripheral nervous system. OP, outpatient. IP, inpatient. INR, international normalized ratio. MARD, disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drug. ECG/EKG, electrocardiogram. GI, gastrointestinal. GU, genitourinary. CMP, comprehensive metabolic panel. ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate. CRP, C-reactive protein. PTT, partial thromboplastin time. PT, prothrombin time. AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. STI, sexually transmitted infection. BUN, blood urea nitrogen. CR, creatinine. BMP, basic metabolic panel. OB, obstetrics. GYN, gynecology. LND, labor and delivery. NICU, neonatal intensive care unit. HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. LOS, length of stay. CT, computed tomography. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. PET, positron emission tomography. US, ultrasound. HX, history. PX, physical exam. SX, symptoms. R/O, rule out. BR, bed rest. RX, prescription. OTC, over the counter. DX, diagnosis. TX, treatment. FX, fracture. BMI, body mass index. PERLA, pupils equal, round, reactive to light and accommodation. ASOBI, shortness of breath. DOE, dyspnea on exertion. NSAID, nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drug. MI, myocardial infarction, heart attack. CVA, cerebrovascular accident, stroke. TIA, transient ischemic attack, mini stroke. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. URI, upper respiratory infection. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. DM, diabetes mellitus. CHF, congestive heart failure. CAD, coronary artery disease. ABG, arterial blood gas. PT, physical therapy. OT, occupational therapy. ADLs, activities of daily living. UTI, urinary tract infection. CXR, chest X-ray. CBC, complete blood count. HGB, hemoglobin. WBC, white blood cell. RBC, red blood cell. BLS, basic life support. ACLS, advanced cardiac life support. AED, automated external defibrillator. CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. DNR, do not resuscitate. ICU, intensive care unit. ER, emergency room. OR, operating room. OPD, outpatient department. CCU, coronary care unit. NPO, nothing by mouth. IM, intramuscular. ID, intradermal. SC/SQ, subcutaneous. ECG/EKG, electrocardiogram. BP, blood pressure. HR, heart rate. PRN, as needed. Intravenous. PO, by mouth. BRB, be right back. HMU, hit me up. SMH, shaking my head. ILY, I love you. JFYI, just for your information. FAQ, frequently asked questions. BAE, before anyone else. TLDR, too long, didn't read. FFS, for explicit sake. QOTD, quote of the day. YOLO, you only live once. TMI, too much information. IRL, in real life. TY, thank you. CYA, see you. YMMV, your mileage may vary. JK, just kidding. AKA, also known as. FYI, for your information. STFU, shut the explicit up. IIRC, if I recall correctly. LMAO, laughing my explicit off. IKR, I know, right? G2G, got to go. WFH, work from home. IIRC, if I recall correctly. LMAO, laughing my explicit off. IKR, I know, right? G2G, got to go. WFH, work from home. YOLO, you only live once. SOL, so out of luck. THX, thanks. TIA, thanks in advance. WBU, what about you? OTP, one true pairing. ROFLMAO, rolling on the floor laughing my explicit off. TIL, today I learned. TYT, take your time. ICYDK, in case you didn't know. J4F, just for fun. L8R, later. NOYB, none of your business. OFC, of course. OTD, outfit of the day, as far as I know, AMA, ask me anything. CU, see you. GL, good luck. GR8, great.